Okay, so here we are. We're going to first of all set this up. Have to turn ourselves a mandrel as per Jackie's situation here. But the first thing we're going to do is check with pin gauges a bunch of these cases and find out where we want to be, how we want to set the mandrel, what we want to do. So what I'm going to do first off is write down the pin gauge size that I find, and then I can decide what to do with the mandrel, what size I want to make it. This is a first time thing for me, so I'm picturing I probably want to go 3 or 4 thou below the mandrel. I don't know, let's just find out. So we're going to throw some pin gauges in here. I should say make the mandrel 3 or 4 thou below the actual, we're going to find that out. So let's just see what we find when we throw some pin gauges at this thing. Okay, so we're down to 227 now before we find something that actually passes through this neck. This is one of the necks that was done in one pass, and it came out nice and straight, contrary to all of my... Now what you can't see is that at the shoulder we have some run out. I can tell that it did push over, but it didn't push over as far as I expected. Now when I roll it like this, the shadow at the shoulder goes roo, 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 which means that it is all pushed to one side. So we have this size on the ones. Now let's take some of these ones that I pressed the bump into the middle of. Now they're a lot looser, so they're a lot bigger, and we'll just move on up with these. We're going to go clear up to 211 and see what that's got to say. Oh yeah, see, now 211 goes in the first half of the neck. See, this is interesting. These are the ones that were done in 2 pieces. The first half of the neck easily accepts 211, and then it comes to a complete refusal. Let's try a few more of these and see where we're... Yeah, see, they are consistent throughout the lot. So remember when I was talking about work hardening, what we have is a definite step in the neck structure here. So we go all the way up to 232. The other necks are still at 232. I'm going to try 234. See, 234 is where we finally come to a slip fit in the front of the neck. So there's a marked discrepancy between the beginning and the end. One thing that is different is the shoulder on this one doesn't do any of this. So I still feel that it'll spin out better in the end, but we're going to find out. So, I'm going to draw a picture of the case. Boom, 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 and then it flares up. This is the interesting part. 2, 3, 4 up here. Definitely clear down at 208. I'm sorry, I was reading my box wrong. 227. Knew something was wrong. 227, not 208. So we've got 7 thousandths of difference in this neck. So that's going to mean that I'm going to probably want to set my mandrel clear down. You know, we have to go below, or clear up I should say. 243 is where we kind of want to end up at probably 240. And right now the big side's at 234. So let's say we turn the mandrel for starters. Let's go ahead and set the mandrel at 238. There's a target for us. 238 based on what we found out about these mandrels, and then we'll see how that works as far as going on. Maybe that oversized front neck will allow it to get started on there more quickly. Maybe it'll be a complete nightmare. I don't know that. So I'm not going to bother messing with the camera while we're turning this mandrel down. That's just child's play. So let me go ahead and shut this thing off and start going after this mandrel, and we'll get back to you when we start seeing about grinding a cutter and making some case necks.